Appreciate you guys jumping on early, man. We had a number of guys ready to rock and roll. Was on 10, 15 minutes early waiting. Just can't wait to have another session, man. So appreciate you guys for jumping on early. Coach Tressel used to always say, man, if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late. If you're not 5 minutes early, you're late. All right. So appreciate you guys jumping in early, man. You got a chance to see me fixing my waves in the camera. And so now we ready to rock and roll, man. But appreciate everybody joining today. All right. Hopefully you got your books. Hopefully you excited. Hopefully you somewhere where you ready to rock and roll, ready to tap in, ready to learn, because we certainly are, man. So glad to have you today. All right. And we about to get going. Let's do it.
All right, fellas, let's roll. Tone, can you hear me good?
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right, if everybody can hear me, making sure everybody can hear me, throw a one in the chat. Let's get it going. Want to make sure the audio is good across the board. Let's get it going. Let's get it popping. Good. Love it. All right, man, like Coach Tone said, man, we super excited about this week. It always seems like our time goes by super fast, fellas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you think you in class in school and you got like a 40-minute class, man, and next thing you know, it seems like it's taking forever, but we get on here, man. We have a lot of fun. So look, let me say this as a reminder. I need you guys to write this down on your packet somewhere so you don't forget. All right, next Sunday, which will be October the 11th. All right, so 10/11. All right, it's gonna be our first meetup. And we're gonna make it a white party. We're gonna make it a whiteout, right? We're gonna make it a white party, right? So make sure next Sunday, all right, you have on at least a white t-shirt. All right, whatever white shirt you can find, white t-shirt, white polo, white button-up, whatever you want to wear, I need you to wear a white top. All right, I don't care what you got on underneath.
Hey, Coach Hall, no white beaters, like no, you know what I mean? Not the white beat. Like you gotta put the guns up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You gotta at least have the sleeves and shoulders covered, you know what I'm saying?
All right, no tank tops. All right, no tank tops, but a white shirt. All right, t-shirt. It can be a t-shirt. It can have something on the front of it. All right, but I need you in white. I want everybody in white next Sunday, and then we're going to send out a different link next week and open up the cameras to everybody. So make sure next Sunday you are sitting somewhere where, you know what I mean, you can't get distracted, where nobody's bothering you. All right, we'll make sure we meet up and see each other next week, which would be fun, man. And also Coach Smith explained to him how you're going to kind of open it up to be able to kind of holler at him if necessary.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, again, kind of what we did a little bit today, you seen we got a chance to bring some folks up, and if they have some questions, you know, you get a chance to show your face on screen. Well, as Coach Hall mentioned, and we're going to get a chance to open that up to everybody. So, you know, we've been rocking and rolling, for several weeks now. Next week, we're going to get a chance to really bond, right? I know you guys been in the chat, hey, asking questions. You know, you want to see what some of the guys, you want to see the faces, put a face to the name. And so we're going to get a chance to do that next week. Also, what we're going to do next week, man, is if you have, a question or just something in your mind that's concerning that, maybe you don't want to share on the chat, or maybe you just want to talk to, myself or Coach Hall one-on-one, we're going to have an opportunity for you to do that. So during our time next week, if you got a question, and we'll give you specific instruction next week, but you're going to be able to hit me up directly, and then you and I can go off to a separate room. Okay. And then we could just have some one-on-one chat, right? So if there's something going on, if there's something, bad or good that you just want to share, you want to share, but you don't necessarily want to share with the group. You want a couple minutes, maybe just to get some insight, maybe get some more information or how to handle the situation, whatever the case may be, we'll have an opportunity for you to do that on next week. All right. So what I want you to do is be prepared though, right? So, today was a good tester. Some folks raised their hand. I asked if you had a question, and, no question is a bad question, so to speak, but I want you to be prepared to ask your question. Okay. Don't just raise your hand and say, you know, hey, where's Coach Hall? That's cool, but I want you to be prepared about asking a real legitimate question so that we can make our time beneficial, right? So ask a question, you get an answer, and we'll get a chance to do that next week. All right, is that cool? Is that fair? Give me like a thumbs up, or give me like, you know what I mean? Give me a number 10 in the chat, if that's cool. If you excited about us getting a chance to see one another, and getting excited about us getting a chance to maybe talk a little bit one-on-one, get some of your questions answered directly. All right, perfect.
All right, put right now just to make sure everybody on the same page. What color are we wearing next Sunday? Throw it in the chat. What color we wearing next Sunday? All right. I want everybody to let me know what color we wearing next Sunday. Good. All white party, baby. Everybody put white party in the chat. All white, everything. White party in the chat. Let's go. All right, Rylan. I know you won't be here, Rylan. It's all good. We'll make sure we catch up with you. Good. All right. All right, good. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in, fellas. Let's go ahead and knock this out like we do every single week. I want you to tell us what you're thankful for in the chat. Tell us what you're thankful for. You see on my screen before I went small in there. I'll just show you real quick. You know what I mean? I got my man Kobe Bryant right here, right? My man Kobe Bryant right here, right to your left or so. But you see, what are you thankful for, man? You thankful for life, man. What are you thankful for? NBA championships here, right? The Lakers up 2-0. I had to put my Kobe Bryant picture up. They're gonna win the title for him, right? But what are you thankful for? Tell us what you're thankful for. All right, throw it in the chat. I got a couple good ones in here. Okay, Keegan said he got some new AirPods. He thankful for that. All right, it's something to be thankful for. Are you thankful for the person that got you the AirPods though? Because I know you didn't drop 200 on those yourself, Keegan. Or 300. I think they're 300 for some AirPods. I'm not sure. Maybe 200. My dad, okay. Thankful for the Lakers. Thankful for having a family, for family. All right, Jaden, thankful for family. All right. Q said he thankful for his new iPhone 11. Thankful for my mom and dad. Good. Friend Rylan said thankful for friends, family, and supporters. That's good. My dog and my dog. What? Jay, you thankful for? Is that your friend? My dog and dog. Okay. Is that what's your dog's name? DAWG. Jaden, what's that? Which one of your friends is that? All right. Darius said he thankful for his family. Thankful for his family. I want you here's what I love about you guys. Every single week, for the most part, you guys always say you're thankful for your family. I absolutely love that. Here's the thing. I want you to remember, Q, would you say you thankful for me, man? Hey, man, I appreciate you, Q. Even though you was just dissing my bald, shiny head, I appreciate you rebounding right there, trying to get back on my good side. I feel that. Jaden say thankful for all his dogs. Okay. I was going to say you guys often say you're thankful for your family, which is awesome. All right. Just remember, though, I want you to remember how thankful you are when you're for your family when they're agitating you. When you're not getting what you want. I want you to think about how thankful you are for your family when you ask your mom for something or your dad for something and they say no, right? Or your sister or your brother, your cousin, somebody come in the room and interrupt you while you on the Xbox or on PS4, right? Or when you ask for that PS5 that's about to drop here in November, right? And they like, nah, we not spending 500 on that, right? So just remember to be thankful for them when you're not getting your way, right? Being thankful it's just not when things are going well and it's a Sunday and you sitting in your house chilling, right? Like you got to be thankful at all times for your family. So that's good. I love it. Let's dive right into this real quick. We got our Minecraft that I want to go into. And remember, fellas, to fill out your thankful for page, your thankful for page this week is on page 21. So whatever you wrote in the chat, I want you to write on page 21. But I want you to expand on it. So if you say, I'm thankful for my family, I need you to tell me why you're thankful for your family. But I need you to write that down, though. You don't have to put it in the chat. But when we get off the call today, make sure you go to page 21. And on that thankful for page, all right, today is October the 4th. I want you to write down, okay, my family. I'm thankful for my family. And then write down why you're thankful for your family. Because then you can always go back and look at some of the good things that you wrote down. But I want you guys to flip to page 22 in your playbooks, page 22 in your playbooks. It should say epic fail. It's a Minecraft. Page 22 in your playbooks, fellas. All right. And on page 22, It should look a little something like this. Page 22. Page 22. And on it, it says epic fail. Epic fail. I want you to look at that on page 22. And then let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about it. Page 22. Let me know what you think about this piece here. All right. While Coach Hall gets his screen right, let me know what you see. I know I'm getting it right, Jaden. I appreciate you. But you can still hear me and still see it. Yep, there you go. Talk to me, Q, what you see.
Yeah, no right or wrong answer in this, fellas. No right or wrong answer. Just whatever you see, whatever you feel.
That's good. What we got? Rylan, you put, I don't know. Come on, man. You got to see something. What's going on with the Minecraft today? It's good. He is building on his failure to become a success. All right, Jaden. I like that. Q said, when you fail, you learn and succeed. And when you're learning to succeed, you go higher. Okay, good. RJ said, don't keep making the same mistakes, build on them and learn from it. That's excellent, RJ. Using his failures as the keys to his success, or Leighton's probably talking about the person on the right. Christian says, see one of them sad and the other happy. Okay, so you're looking at their body language and facial expressions. All right, Keegan dropped in here. I see the guy on the left keeping his mistakes and the guy on the right building off of them. That's good, Keegan. That's excellent. All right, Rylan, using failure to learn from mistakes and do better. All right, cool. Coach Smith, go ahead and take it away, and I'm going to see if I can make sure I get this screen right. Go ahead and take it away for me real quick while I make sure my thing is right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Good stuff. Good stuff on that, man. Appreciate you guys taking some time, man. We love the Minecrafts, right? Because this gives us an opportunity really just to reflect, man, just to think, right? See an abstract image and just, let our mind go, right? And so again, no right or wrong answers on this, man. But when I look at this sheet, man, I see a couple things, right? I see a couple things, and some of you guys have kind of hit it right on the head. The first is, the guy on the left is just taking these failures and he's kind of stacking them up right on top of his head, and he's kind of weighing it down. You see his shoulders, you see his posture, you can kind of see the failure as it's just driving him lower and lower and lower, right? He's got all this stress and pain and everything is on his head, it's on his shoulders, it's like the weight, right? And then you look at the guy on the right, just from a body language standpoint, he's found a way to take those same failures and, as you guys mentioned, use them as stepping stone, use them as building blocks, right? You guys know my book, Waiting to Fail. We talked a little bit about it last week. I'm a big proponent of taking failures. Like, I'm a big proponent of we must fail in life, right? Failure is advantageous for us. Like, it's good for us to fail because we get a chance to learn what doesn't work, right? We get a chance to correct and do some things a little differently and ultimately get to a solution, right? Get closer to the solution. And so if you think about it, some of the greatest inventions, some of the greatest buildings, some of the greatest things that are out, available to us right now, electronics, technology, shoes. I mean, think about it. Think about how many, shoes that went through the ringer and busted apart, basketball shoes that sports players was going through before they found right technology that's going to make you run faster, jump higher, in our clothes and shoes and all the things that we use, right? A lot of these things have failed at one point in time, and that's why they continue to get better. And so my man on the right, he's using his failures, right, as stepping stones. He's building upon those, he's learning from them, and he's getting and ascending to a higher place. So he's not, using, taking these failures and weighing it down, and he's going down and down and down and down. No, this guy is taking his failures and going up. He's going upward, right? He's rising to the occasion. And then when you look at it, he's got a smile on his face. Are you kidding me? Right? When we fail, when we feel like we lost a game, when we feel like, we defeated or we failed a test, man, we're walking down, our head is down. That's why a lot of times your coaches pick your head up. Get your eyes up. You know what I mean? Don't let the people, don't let the crowd see you defeated, because you got another chance. You got another opportunity. Your life is not over, right? A lot of us guys, man, we go through things and we think, man, you know, we failed. We feel like a failure. We feel like our life is over. You know, the girl we wanted to go and try to talk to, she didn't want to talk to us. Oh my God, our life is over. You know what I mean? The basketball game that we so wanted to win, the championship that we lost the game. Oh, my life is so over. The test, oh, I failed the test, my life is over. No, it's not, man. You got another opportunity. And when you can, you know, figure out a way to smile, when you can figure out a way to, you know, be happy that you get another opportunity, be happy that you can learn from your mistakes and be able to apply it for the future, man. That's what it's all about. You guys are young. You guys have a lot of life to give and a lot of life to live. So don't let, you know, what you may think is a failure derail you and get you off of your game and get you out of your zone, right? You learn from it, okay? Use it to ascend and get to that next level.
No, that's good, fellas. And I'm watching what you guys are saying in the chat, and it's all excellent stuff here, man. It's kind of simple, but as you look at all the details, you know, one thing that I always like to point out, Coach Smith, did you hit on that attire yet?
No, I didn't hit on the attire really. I hit on the posture.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and talk about the attire. Yes, sir.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, my man on the right, he dressed like Coach Smith, right? Coach Smith got on the hoodie today, but my man on the right, man, you see him with the skinny pants on, with the loafers showing, right? He got the Louis Vuitton loafers, right? Got a nice little sweater going on, sweater game, little cashmere sweater game going on. You see him like Coach Smith. Look at my man to the left. Look at my dude on my left. Look at his hair. Look at his lineup. His hair looking a little shaggy. My man on the right looked just like Coach Smith. They got the same lineup. They got the same barber. The dude on the right got the same barber. Look at him crispy. You see Coach Smith usually got on the hat. He ain't got on the hat today. He's showing the waves off, you know what I mean? Hey. Lined up. Got his mustache lined up.
You see him. You see
what I'm saying?
You see the waves busting now, Coach Hall. You see him busting, fellas.
See what happens. But see, that's what happens, man. Like when you take failure and you use those as building blocks and stepping stones, your attitude changes, right? Your posture changes, as Coach Smith said. And then also, right, everything, your appearance can change. Just having a little bit of confidence and knowing that those failures don't necessarily mean and or make you a failure. We say that failure is an event, is not a person. I want you guys to write that down. Failure is an event, it's not a person, right? Failure is an event, it's not a person. And specifically, it's not you. So write that down. Put failure is an event, but failure is not me. I want you to write that down. That's how I want you to write it. Failure is an event, but failure is not me. Failure is not me. So, yeah, you're going to fail, but it's not you. It's not you, right? Failure is an event, but it's not you. Second thing I want you to look at, and a lot of you guys do this. A lot of you guys are athletes. Y'all run up and down the stairs all the time. And you can see my guy on the right. He's literally skipping steps. He's skipping steps. You know, when you run up the stairs, you like skip as many steps as you can. Some of y'all done fail and hurt yourselves multiple times trying to run up your stairs at your crib. But if you see my guy on the right, man, he's skipping some steps. And what this says for me, and it's multiple things. Here's the thing. Number one, all those failures could be his failures. But then at the same time, some of those failures could have been somebody else before him that placed those failure blocks ahead. And so now that you can learn from other people's mistakes, you don't have to make them all yourself. All right. You can learn from other people's mistakes. You don't have to make them all yourself. But those particular failures, sometimes those failures of other people allow you to skip some steps, fellas. So every single time that you guys get on here with Coach Smith and I, and you're talking to us and going back and forth and learning the information that you're learning, we're literally giving you our failures so that you don't make a mistake yourself. And so you can skip some of these steps so you can leap ahead of your friends and the people around you, right? So that's the cool part about being on here. So I like the fact that he's skipping over some steps in those failures, but I also love the fact that his appearance has changed, as opposed to my guy on the left, shirt untucked, right? You know what I mean? Got some basic old boots, right? My man on the right got the loafers on. He got some basic boots, you know what I mean? So shirt untucked again, you know, kind of unbuttoned, kind of going through the motions. The other man is prepared for the success that awaits him, Appearance is big time key to show, like, you know how you guys look when you get on the field, when you get on the court. you can always tell that person that could ball based on their fit, man. Now, Coach Smith, I'll take that back. Some people can ball without looking athletic, because Coach Smith, when he was playing for the Buckeyes, man, he used to wear these like white crew socks. You know what I mean? Just basic, no wristbands, I don't think, maybe one. You know what I mean? But he had his dreads hanging out, though. And he used to chew gum when he used to play. So he had a little bit of swag. But he definitely stayed in the loafers, man. So that's very, very important. Glad you guys got that. If this was helpful, if the Minecraft was helpful, throw a 3 in the chat. Tone skipped all the way to 10, but we got at least 1 down. We definitely got 2. Throw a 3 in the chat. All right, good. I see you. I see y'all. See them. Threes everywhere. All right, guys, I want you guys to turn back to page 8. And I'm going to turn it over to Coach Smith on this. Page 8. It is the second most important principle that you guys will learn here. If you guys remember our mission, without looking, if you remember our mission, all right, throw it in the chat. All right, what is our mission? Our mission is real simple. Write our mission in the chat. All right, Rylan got all the 3s. Throw the mission in the chat. I need at least one person to throw our mission in the chat. Okay, I see you coming through, Kato. Okay, I see you.
I see it. They coming. They firing, Coach. They firing, Coach Hall.
Yeah. So we got the mission. All right, contribute. Don't complain, contribute. I see you. Don't complain, contribute. I see you. All right, now that's mission number 1. That's our mission. That's our core mission. But before we get into our main and primary message for today, we're going to introduce you to our second, or our number 1 principle. So our mission is don't complain, contribute. But this is our number 1 principle to operate, specifically when we start talking about attitude and when things don't go your way. So I'm going to let Coach Smith handle this part, but turn to page 8, and I'll bring it up on the screen so you guys have it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, yes, sir. So the 10-90 rule, guys. Man, I want you to memorize it. I don't even want you to memorize it. I want you to internalize it, right? I don't want it just to be in your head. I want it to be in your heart. I want it to be in your body. I want it to be in your spirit, man. The 10-90 rule. This is something that myself and Coach Hall, we live by. We organize our entire life around this. And if you can learn to live by this rule, man, I can guarantee you your life will be in a much better place. You'll be like that guy on the right, with a smile on his face, no matter what situation comes your way. Why? And why do I say that? I say that because the 10-90 rule, it says life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. Say it again. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. And so if you can just follow me just for a second, fellas, right? If your whole life is made up of all of these things, 100% of your life, and only 10% is what happens to you, right? Those are the events. Those are the things that happen to you, sometimes outside of your control, right? You can't control where you grew up in. You can't control the neighborhood. Sometimes you can't control what school you're at, right? You can't control what teachers you got. You can't control the people around. You can't control your cousins and your family. There's some things that happen to you that are outside of your control, okay? But majority of your life, 90% of it, okay, is how do you respond to the things that happen to you. So it's not even so much about what happens to you, it's how do you respond to it. Okay, how do you respond to it? And if you can imagine that, then you know that majority of the things will start right here in your mind. It's not about the physical presence. It's not about what physically someone said to you, physically what someone even done to you, physically what's around you. Yes, those things are important, but the majority of your life is going to start right here. It's going to be decided right here in your mind, right? Because this is where you respond. This is where you process information and then you respond. And if you notice, we purposely use the word respond. We don't use the word react. Okay, because when you react, sometimes you just do things unconsciously, right? If you react, somebody say something crazy to you, you're gonna pop off and say something crazy right back, right? If you're just reacting. If somebody smack you in the back of your head, you're gonna turn around and pop them, right? You're just gonna turn around and be wild. Who hit me, right? You're gonna react. But when you respond, Okay. You take the ability and the time to process the information. All right. And then act appropriately, respond appropriately. So someone says something crazy to you. Maybe you do want to say something crazy back, but you're in the middle of the classroom setting. And if you know you fire back off, you're going to be the one that gets sent to detention. You're going to be the one that gets sent to the principal's office. You're going to be the one that get in trouble. Right. And so sometimes, man, we have to internalize. It's not what happens to us. It's how do we respond to that situation? And we have to be diligent enough. We want to be true leaders, man. You know, we want to grow up to, be successful. We want to grow up to accomplish those dreams and things that we want in life. We have to learn to respond to situations appropriately. Okay. A lot of our friends, a lot of people around, they react and they get in trouble. Right. A lot of you guys, you play sports. You know what happens? Who usually gets the penalty flag? The second guy. Somebody hits you on the field and you turn around and you hit back, you the one usually get penalized, right? Because you're not responding appropriately, right? So life is 10% what happens to you and it's 90% how you respond. Man, I'm telling you guys, internalize that, all right? Believe that. Write this down somewhere. Put it somewhere where you can see it every single day, right? Because that's the way you want to start living your life. And we put a few notes in here as well, so that you know that you're modeling and you're responding appropriately. We talk a little bit about body language. What is your body language? What is your posture? We talked about that on the Minecraft. You seen the guy, he's slumped, his head is down, his demeanor, his facial expressions, his frown. Like you want to have a good posture. You know, you want to stand tall. Someone say something to you, that's cool. I'm gonna stand tall. I'm gonna eat it like a champ, and I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna just give you a smile, right? I ain't even gotta say nothing to you. I'm gonna kill you with kindness, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna smile at you. They're gonna think you crazy. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay, right? Because I'm responding appropriately, right? So having the right body language. And then, of course, we talked about it, best practices in your 1090 rule. How do you communicate, right? How do you communicate effectively? Okay. And it's all about your response, knowing what to say, when to say, how to say, right? Where to say. It's all in the timing. Okay. So just learn, guys, how you respond to a situation, right? There's another formula that we like to use, right? And it kind of supplements or is an alternative to the 1090 rule. And you can remember that this way as well. E plus R equals O. E plus R equals O. E is the events that happen. Okay. Again, just like the things that happen to 10%, the events are the things that happen to you, whether they're in your control or outside of your control. Plus the R, your response. How do you respond? Okay. Equals the outcome. Okay. And this is this equation. This is what Ohio State uses on the football field. This is what the national championship, Ohio State Buckeyes, and many other collegiate teams and professional teams. This is the mentality that they take to the football field. It's not what happens; it's how do we respond, right? So you think about the game of football or any other game. Yeah, we may be down 15, and there may only be 3 minutes left. But how are we going to respond? Are we going to quit? Are we going to give up? No, we're going to respond appropriately. Right. I may be down. I may not have all the money. I may not have the latest gear. I may not, have all the greatest tools and techniques in my household. But how am I going to respond? Am I going to let people tell me that I'm going to be nothing, or I'm going to respond and I'm going to prove to them, right, that and I ain't got to say nothing to nobody. I'm going to just respond appropriately and do what I need to do to get to where I need to be. All right. 1090, man. I love this. This is me. This is what I love to breathe and just exude, because this is what truly makes you who you're going to be. This is about attitude, fellas. And no matter what happens to you, the one thing that you can control is your attitude. You tell me a situation where you can't control your attitude, right? And that just means you're undisciplined, right? That means you're uncoachable. 1090 rule. You guys learn it, love it. All right. And then tell somebody else about it. Woo. Coach Hall, what's happening?
Man, go get some water, man. Go get some water.
Man,
go get some water. Not because you on fire, bro. You just look like, man, you've been talking. You going, bro. You like used up all your saliva. Hold on, man. Come on now. You even had to back away from the mic.
Used up all my turbo, huh?
Man, got to recharge real quick. Go stand next to that light behind you. Go charge up one time. No, fellas, look, we're going to take the time and do this. I want you guys to write out the 1090 rule in the chat. Write it out right now. I'm good. It'll take you like 15, 20 seconds. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. Write it in the chat. All right. You need to make sure you memorize it and internalize it. Like Coach Smith said, write it in the chat. I need it in the chat. Right. Life is 10% what happens to you. 90% how. Nope, that's not it, Jaden. Like you said, 90% is your, that's not it. Life is 10, write it out. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. All right, I see you, Mo. Good, good. I want the full thing laid out. No abbreviations. Write it, write it. Good. Life is 10. Okay, Cato. All right. Mr. Curry, I see you. RJ, I see you. Christian Copen, I see you. Good, good. I need them all in the chat. Come on, keep them coming. Okay, Jaden, way to fix that. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We'll wait for you. Keep them coming. Okay, Obi. I see you, Obi. All right, keep them coming. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. There it is. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. Okay. All right, Q. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. All right. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. Jaden, you asked, could you have my concords in the back? No. How you going to respond to that? Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. I see you, Mr. Franks Bay. All right. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. Okay. Leighton, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. Keegan, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. All right, so we get it, right? Over and over and over, repetition, repetition, repetition. I'm telling you, it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. Something's going to happen, right? How are you going to respond to it? All right, no more reactions. All right, you get a chance to press pause and figure out what you want to do and respond the way that you see necessary. Wait a minute. Let me respond because I don't even, first of all, Leighton, since you asking, look at these. These ain't even been, hold on, Leighton, they ain't even been touched yet. Come on, Leighton. Do you see it? Look at these bottoms, Leighton. Come on. Still crispy, Leighton. Don't play me, Leighton. Don't play me, Leighton. They probably dirty. Don't play me, Leighton. Don't play me. What, you want what about these? Ain't been touched. Come on, Leighton. Don't play me. Don't play me, Leighton. They ain't even catching on the, hold on. Let me see. Make sure my auto, get in there. Get them in there. Let me crack them up a little bit. Come on, Leighton. Don't play me, man. Don't play me over here. All right. Now you want to be quiet over there. Now you want to be quiet. All right. I've just touched them. Yeah, they ain't dirty though. All right. Here we go. Let's dive in though. Coach Smith did a great job covering the 1090 rule. Get on, make sure you're on page 23, fellas. We got about 15 more minutes or so. 15 more minutes or so. I see you, Leighton. Hey, man. Mr. Sarr, I appreciate it, man. Icy, I see you. Turn to page 23. Turn to page 23, fellas. All right. Turn to page 23. And we'll dive into this. All right. So, everybody, man, for the last 6 months or so, let's see, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, so the last 6 months, fellas, we've been talking about and dealing with this pandemic as a country. All right. So, at least since March. Right, when they shut school down in the spring and everybody had to go home, didn't know what was going on. Everybody was panicking. They shut down the country. And the coronavirus, COVID-19, so the coronavirus then took over. As you guys saw this past weekend, I don't know if you saw, but Cam Newton, who's the starting quarterback of the New England Patriots, tested positive for COVID-19, which means he's out for probably the next 2 games. The New England Patriots are 2-1, and we're going to see how they respond on Monday when they play the Kansas City Chiefs. And so COVID, our President Trump, tested positive for COVID-19. First Lady tested positive for COVID-19. And obviously 200,000+ people have died from COVID-19. And so we want to make sure that we're taking this serious. And we know that this virus is running rampant. However, if I have to be honest with you, the way that our attitude has been towards the virus has got me thinking and got us thinking that the real virus is a bad attitude. The real virus in life is a bad attitude. And just like a traditional virus, like the coronavirus, this attitude or this virus of a bad attitude has similar characteristics. They have similar characteristics. And so on one end, obviously, we know the coronavirus, not only can you test positives and there are symptoms and characteristics, but it also could take your life. Well, a bad attitude can literally strip you of the opportunity to be great. It could strip you of the opportunity to have a successful dream or a successful goal, right? It could kill relationships. It could kill your pursuit of greatness, and it could kill people's desire to want to help you. So your teachers and mentors and coaches, you having a bad attitude may keep them from not even want to mess with you. I mean, literally, hey man, I'm not gonna put your name in it, but you know, we're not gonna help this player because his attitude is terrible. His attitude's awful. Nah, we're not gonna invite him over to this house because he just has he's extremely disrespectful. Right? He's always pouting, he's always complaining, he always has something going on, he always has excuses, just a terrible attitude. And so we want to hit on these characteristics and make sure, following what the 10-90 rule is, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. We want to make sure that you look yourself in the mirror today and tonight, fellas, and correct these things, because there is no cure right now. There is no vaccine for the coronavirus, but there is a vaccine and there is a cure and there is a way to get outside of the outbreak of a bad attitude. But you got to recognize these symptoms. And so in order to let you know how serious this bad attitude is, let's dive into it. Let's dive into it real quick. Number one on your in your playbook, I want you to write this down. Coach Smith, do me a favor and write this in the chat. But number one, the word is replicate. The word is replicate. And I'm going to bring it up on your screen just so you have it, just so you guys see it. All right. That first fill in the blank will be replicate. Replicate. Okay, replicate. And so if you're talking about characteristics of a virus, the virus will replicate. All right. So your attitude, positive or negative, will clone itself and firmly attach to everything that you do and everything that you say. Okay. Your attitude, positive or negative, will clone itself and firmly, all right, not just loosely, but firmly attach itself to everything that you do and everything that you say. So you are not exempt from having a bad attitude. Okay, you're not exempt. So it's good, whatever it is, positive or negative, it's going to attach. So if you have a bad attitude, it's going to attach yourself to your words. It's going to attach itself to your body language. It's going to listen, it could even attach itself. We'll get to this in a minute. It could even attach itself to someone else. All right. And so you guys have experienced this before, where maybe you've had a bad attitude and then you said something that you really didn't mean, that you did something that you really didn't mean. And so a lot of times when someone's trying to coach you up and show you how to get better and you think you know how to do everything on your own, when somebody's trying to help you get better, you're like, man, I don't want to do it that way. Remember how some of you guys felt initially when they told you that you guys had a Sunday call at 6:30 to 7:15 with Coach Smith and Coach Hall, and you're like, well, Mom, why I got to do that? Man, I don't know if that's for me. Why me? Why me? Bad attitude. Now all of a sudden y'all on here getting on here early. Why? Because now you've opened up and now have a positive outlook, and so you're getting positive results. It's that simple. You're getting positive results. If you have a great attitude, even that will replicate itself. Okay. Number 2 on your sheet, it says mutate. And you don't have to fill that one in. We already did that for you. We put down mutate, mutate, mutate. All right. So keeping a positive attitude isn't easy. We know that. Mutation, to go from one thing or another, is often described as being moody. All right. We put handle being human. I want you to underline handle being human. Okay. We all go through things, fellas. We go through things. And it's okay when your attitude mutates. It's okay when your attitude mutates. Just when you feel it going from positive to negative, make sure it mutates back into positive rather quickly. And so some people might call you moody, but the reality of the situation, you're human, fellas. So you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have times where you feel great, times where you don't feel great, times where you have things that you want to talk about and share with your friends and family, sometimes where you just want to process it internally and deal with it on your own before you say or do anything. Sometimes the 10-90 rule allows you to not say anything to figure out what's appropriate to say or what's appropriate to do. So make sure that when you're going back and forth in your different emotions, just know that you can go from positive to negative, but I want you to handle being human. Okay. Understand that it's okay to go back and forth. But when you feel yourself going to the negative side or going to a bad attitude, make sure you cross back over. All right. Make sure you cross back over. And then last but not least, as you guys are following on your sheet, the last word is migrate. Migrate, to move around. All right. Migrate means to move around or to invade or to inhabit, to take over, or to migrate from place to place, to move from place to place in a unit. So your attitude is energy, and it has to go somewhere. So your energy has to go somewhere, and it spreads from person to person. All right. And it says symptoms may vary. And so this is exactly what I said earlier in regards to your attitude. Sometimes you having a bad attitude, fellas, can then jump and migrate to someone else. So you can have a negative attitude on you and pass it on to somebody else, and they pass it on to someone else. And then it could come all the way back to you. A lot of fights start that way, where somebody start a rumor. They'll start a rumor and say something about you. They have a negative attitude that goes to someone else. It goes to someone else and finally gets to you. Now, all of a sudden, that bad attitude, negative energy is jumped on you. And now you're trying to confront the person that started it, and a fight breaks out, an argument ensues. And so that's how it literally just migrates around. So you went from replicating to person to then mutating from person to person. And now it gets back to you. It's migrated back to you. And now all of a sudden you get in trouble for somebody else's attitude. So because somebody else woke up with a terrible attitude, now all of a sudden you have a terrible attitude. And the same thing happens in reverse order, where if you start with a negative attitude, it could go around and start something that you don't want it to start either. Your family, your friends, right? You having a horrible attitude about practice or having to study a little bit longer, or the paper that you have to write. Now all of a sudden your parents might have a bad attitude. Okay. And so here's the thing, the same thing happens on the reverse side, where if you have a positive attitude, that can replicate, that can mutate, that can spread as well, that can migrate as well. So it goes on both ends. So when you're talking about having an attitude, it definitely replicates, it definitely mutates, and definitely will migrate. We went over the 1090 rule, which is the next piece on your sheet that we asked you guys to remember. And Coach Smith did an excellent job of covering this particular part. Again, we want to stress the fact that body language is building language. This is so key. And let me stress, your posture is everything. Coach Smith mentioned that. All right. Your facial expression is everything. The only thing that we get a chance to see, we know how you feel based on how your face looks. Right. So if you're like, no, I'm in a good mood, but all right, is this a good mood? All right, let me open this screen up. Is this a good mood? How about this? That's all. Like, so all those things are telling your teachers, telling your coaches, telling your mentors, telling the classmates that you just don't want to be there. All right. You just, hey man, it's Q, man, chill. I'm talking about my head. All right. So again, bad attitude, all right, we can't have that. Those are things that you can control. Okay. Those are things that you can control. Okay. So body language is building language. All right, our last piece, fellas, for today, before I turn it back over to Coach Smith, and we can kind of walk through this together. All right. But we want to go through our flow chart. Okay. We want to go through our flow chart. And I want you to do this while we're talking through it. Okay. We call this the thought process. The thought process. And at the end, it says, you can see the last word on the page. It says destiny to the far right. Now, destiny could be your dream. Destiny could be that goal. Destiny could be your occupation, what you want to do when you grow up. Those are all things that will fall under destiny. So how am I going to go from being 12 or 13 all the way to my goal or my destiny? And we're saying that the very first thing is it's going to start with what you're thinking, your thoughts. All right. It's going to start with your thoughts. Okay. Start with your thoughts. So where the pen is, all right, you guys probably have a pencil. All right. We'll start in our thoughts. And then let's go from our thoughts and draw a line, fellas, from your thoughts to your feelings. All right. Draw a line from thoughts to feelings. One short line from thoughts to feelings. Okay. From thoughts to feelings. Okay. Now, draw a line from your feelings to your decisions. From feelings to your decisions. So in essence, before you feel anything, fellas, before you feel anything, your thoughts are producing those feelings. So as soon as you say you're angry, as soon as you say you're sad, as soon as you say I'm disappointed, as soon as you say I'm frustrated, as soon as you say I'm mad, as soon as those things come out, it's revolving around what you're thinking about. What are you thinking about and rehearsing in your mind over and over and over and over and over that has you feeling what you feel? And so a lot of times what you're feeling isn't false. What you're feeling is real, but it's being pushed, and your feelings are being educated by your thoughts. And so as soon as you start to change your thoughts, now all of a sudden how you feel about the situation can change. So your thoughts always lead to your feelings. So if you say, man, I'm tired of my sister, man, she get on my nerves. Okay, well, what are you thinking about that's making you feel like she's getting on your nerves when about 30 minutes ago you said you were thankful for your family? Okay. So your thoughts lead to your feelings then lead to your decisions. So before you decide on anything, it's going to be based on your feelings. It's going to be based on your feelings, which is then fueled by your thoughts. Now take your pen or your pencil, and I want you to draw a line from decisions to actions. From decisions to actions. Go from decisions up to actions. I'll pull it back up on the screen here. All right, you can do your own process of moving, but I just want you to see the overall piece. Go from your decisions to your actions. Now, you think something, then you feel something, then you decide to do something. This is before you act on it. You decide to do it, right? So you decide, you know what, I'm getting payback. I'm getting revenge today. I heard they was talking about me. I'm getting revenge today. That's the decision part. Now you start to come up with the plan, right, after your decision to then act on it. Then you act on it. Okay, then you act on it. Okay, so action comes after the decision to do it. Now, when you do something over and over and over again, no matter what it is, positive or negative, it becomes a what? It becomes a habit. It becomes a habit. So when you do the same action over and over again, it becomes a habit. So draw a line from action all the way over to habit. Draw a line from actions to habits. All right. Habits produce your character. You want to hear, they say, oh, he's an honest guy. He's a person of integrity. All right. He's trustworthy. He's responsible. He's disciplined. He's hardworking. Right. He's thankful. He's a great teammate. He's a great student. All these things are character attributes. They are all habits, right? Because of what you've been doing. All right. So your habits, draw a line down the character. Your habits produce your character. Your habits produce your character, and then draw a line from character to your destiny. And you're like, wait a minute, how can my character dictate me getting to my dream? How can my character dictate me getting to my goal? Hey, Coach Hall, Coach Smith, how can my character carry me to making it to the NBA or NFL, or me getting that spot on the team, or me graduating with a 3.9 or 4.0 GPA? How can my character do that? You know how many people are on teams right now that may not have the talent that other people have, but their character is so much better that the coach picked them instead of the guy with all the talent? There's a reason why sometimes the captain of the teams, the captain of the basketball team, the captain of the football team, it's a reason why sometimes those guys aren't as good as the other guys. It's just they're better leaders, right? They have great character. And you're like, how they pick him over me? And you're like, nah, man, his character, I just trust that guy. Because of their habits, because of their actions. And you can see how from your thoughts that go all the way to your destinies and your dreams, fellas, right? Everything starts with your thoughts. What are you thinking about? So I know a lot of you guys got on here a couple of weeks ago and was like, hey, man, I'm always failing, man. I look at myself and I don't know what to think, right? I don't have the self-confidence that I want. Well, what is it that you're thinking about over and over and over again that has you feeling like you're not good enough? Which means if you feel like you're not good enough, you're going to decide to do things that actually prove that point. And then your actions and habits all add up. And next thing you know, people think that you're a bad kid. And you're like, I'm really not a bad kid. But really, it goes all the way back to your thoughts. So that's the one thing that we can control, fellas, is our thoughts. And again, your thoughts lead to your feelings to your actions to decisions, feelings to decisions, your decisions to actions, your actions over the course of time build your habits develop your character, and your character determines where you go or what destiny you lead to, fellas, what destiny you lead to. If that was helpful for you guys, throw a 5 in the chat. I'm going to turn it back over to Coach Smith as we close down. Throw a 5 in the chat if that was helpful. All right. Control your thoughts, the thought process.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good, Coach Hall. That was good, man. I hope y'all followed that. And it goes back to what we talked about, the 1090 rule, man. We talked about, it all starts with your thoughts. Majority of your life starts in your head, starts with your thoughts, and it can ultimately lead to your destiny. And so if you guys just really quickly, I heard the guys says, let me guys finish my book. I talk about a story in there, and I mentioned this before. When I was 9 years old, my neighbor's father told me some inappropriate or disturbing words, and gave me some news, at 9 years old, that, I could have thought bad about myself. I could have thought about my situation, thought about the fact that I didn't have a mother or father growing up. And so maybe his words would be, come true, but I didn't. I used those, and I thought, man, you know what? I'm going to actually be somebody and something, man. And that ultimately got me to, reach one of my goals again to the NFL, man. So again, as Coach Hall mentioned, we got to change the way we think. We got to change our mindset, right? We're so conditioned to, say if we grow up with these circumstances, then we're only going to be, this is all we're going to amount to, right? And so we got to change the way we're thinking, man. And it all starts there. So good stuff, Coach Hall. We do want to just reiterate again for next week. Next week, what we want to do is we want to open it up, man, so we can continue to build, we can continue to bond. But here's the thing, fellas. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We all joke, we all have some fun. Me and Coach Hall, we love to go back and forth. Joking and having fun, that's a part of building a relationship. All right. So we want to do that. However, we don't want to let that become a distraction. And what I seen in the chat today was a little bit of distraction, right? Like we kind of got overboard talking about Coach Hall and his head and his shoes. It's all fun, but we got some real stuff that we want to cover. Okay. And so when we start to let those things become a distraction, right, it takes us off our path. Okay. And so what we want to do next week is we want to open this thing up and have, an opportunity to see you guys see each other, but we do not want that to be a distraction. And what we don't want is a whole bunch of chitter chat going in the chat that's unproductive or that's not online or on target of what we're covering. Okay. So, this was a good test because now this is an accountability. All right. So next week we're going to open up, and we like to have fun, and there's a time and place for all of that. But if we can't control ourselves and stay on key, because we only got a limited time here. If we can't stay on key and on track, then we won't be able to do that again. Does that make sense? Okay. So next week we want to try it. I need you guys to stay focused. Okay. Stay on track. Yes, we can laugh and joke and things, but when it's time to get going, it's time to learn what we got to learn. I need you guys to tap into that. Not doing a lot of jokey joke back and forth. Okay. Because that's not what we're here for. We don't have enough time for that. All right. It was another place, another time. Okay. Next week, excited. We're going to get a chance to open it up. You guys get a chance to see each other. We get a chance to see you, and we get a chance hopefully to build one-on-one if you have some things that you want to you want to talk about or share. So again, the homework is, look, come with something next week. If you want to, you don't have to, there's no pressure, but if a few of you guys really want to step aside and we can go into another chat room, we can do so. All right. And we can have some one-on-one. All right. So that's what was next week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this week. This was dope. The 1090 rule, the virus is everywhere. Now we get an opportunity to see, the makeup of the virus, COVID virus, flu virus, any virus you can think of. We flip that and start talking about the viruses that live in our attitude, right? They replicate, they produce, okay? They mutate, all right? They change, and they migrate. They move around, okay? So we want to make sure, man, that we keep those things in mind and we control our attitude, the one thing that we control in every single situation. All right.
Oh, that's good. Coach Smith, that's good. Hey, fellas, I know we hopping off now. Just real quick, I want to address some. Mo said some people naturally look mad. Some people just don't smile a lot, Mo. I don't know if they naturally look mad, but you can easily smile in somebody's face. See those teeth? You can smile and change it up quick. But what they're saying is, sometimes people's facial expression, and that could throw people off, right? So if you look mad, then chances are you might be thinking of something that's that's making you feel that way. Most of you guys smile all the time at jokes. And then also, Leighton, it's all good, Leighton. Coach Smith wasn't getting on you, all right? And Leighton, it's cool, like we in the chat, but just make sure when we doing our lessons, all right, when we do our lessons, we shut down like all the joking stuff. But that was good. No, we good, Leighton. See you put in here. Sorry, it's no necessarily apologize, but we just want to make sure when we're teaching, you guys are paying attention. All right, so we'll pick it up next week, man. You guys are still our favorite bunch. Man, you better take that sad face out, Leighton. Stop playing around, big dog. It's all gravy, baby. All good out here. Got a positive attitude out here, Leighton, and everybody else. All right. Plus my head is so dope, bro. Like I don't know. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I got that Michael Jordan thing going. You see what I'm saying? I got the greatest of all time, 6 rings over here. You feel me? All right, we good to go. Everybody good? All right, cool. Coach Smith, we out, man.
See y'all next week, man. Get it. Easy.